guys, what is up? My name is Megan and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, and welcome to one of my favorite videos to film every year, which is my goals for the upcoming year. We're talking 2025 goals in this one, obviously. I am a goal setter through and through. I love goals, I love challenges, so that's what we're discussing. In this video, obviously I am a reading channel, so we'll do reading and channel goals. I also want to talk about a few book consumption goals I have for a low buy year that I'm doing, as well as a few personal goals, and I will end this video discussing the video series I have planned for 2025 so that you can know what exactly is going to be happening on Meg Reads for the upcoming year. I hope you guys are excited, but first off, let's talk word of the year, and then obviously there are timestamps down below if you want to skip through parts of the video, just watch certain sections. I don't blame you, this will be a chatty one, but let's get started. So first of all, word of the year, I like to set a word that kind of creates an intention for every year, and for me, for 2025, that word is consistency. I was struggling with burnout for the past 2-3 months now. I have been off work, working with a social worker, which I am also a social worker, so there's a little bit of humor in that. But throughout my sessions, I have learned that one of my biggest needs is like to prioritize myself and find what I value and what I want to include in my life. And being a big routine person, I think that the key word here is consistency in prioritizing myself and prioritizing the things I love to do. So that's what we're going with. Obviously this will be like further seen throughout my upcoming content, but that is the word of the year. Do let me know down below what your word of the year is if you set one. Now let's get into reading goals. So I have a few reading goals. Some of them are very basic, like one and done. Some are more throughout the year. So the first and main goal I have is not so much a measurable one, just as something I want to keep in the back of my head, and that is to have fun and be consistent, again, in my reading routine. Usually when there are dips in my mental health, I tend to stray away from reading, which is the opposite of what I want to do, because reading is what fuels me, what makes me happy. And I have realized with burnout that I need to prioritize reading now more than ever. So I want to have fun with it. I want to read things that are engaging to me, not necessarily for the algorithm, but for myself. And I just want to be consistent in what I read. And that leads me to my numerical goal for reading in 2025, which is to read 90 books. This would be the most I would read in a single year. I think the most I've read now is like 80 books in a year, and I want to bump it up because, again, the aim of the game here is to be intentional with my reading, and so I thought it was the perfect number. Just bump up the challenge a little bit and make sure reading stays a priority. This also aligns with a lot of the goals I have for my bingo board from hell, which if you haven't seen, it's technically like a part 1 of the reading goals I have for myself in 2025. I'll leave it in the cards. It's a really fun one. It's like a bingo board with what I'm trying to focus on in 2025. Another numerical goal is the number of pages I want to read, and I want to read 28,000 pages, and it's not a random number. Technically, I calculated the average of a book I read is usually between 300 and like 400 pages, so the benchmark here is about 350, though I have been picking up bigger books. And so if you multiply that around by the amount of books I think I might hit, that's where I got my number from. I just want to know that like I can pick up bigger books, and just I need to pick up books that I want to read, not necessarily just short books. It's quality over quantity, but the quantity is there to kind of remind myself of that. Then another reading goal I have, which is kind of measurable, but it's also just like a thing. I want to focus on the 3 main genres that I love. 2025 is not necessarily the year where I'm going to go and explore a bunch of different genres. I really want to stick to middle grade, which is my primary genre, romance, which is the other, like these are the 2 like best buddies on this channel, and then fantasy. As you know, I have started my Brandon Sanderson journey. I want to read more adult fantasy, so I want to dip my toes in fantasy and focus on those 3 genres for 2025. I also want to do more immersive reading, which is listening to audiobooks while physically reading a book. I started doing that in 2024 and was obsessed. I found new audiobook apps that work for me. As a Canadian, in my area we don't have Libby or whatever, so it makes audiobooks a little less accessible, but by using BookBeat and those things, I have come to like get a huge library of audiobooks, and I think it's gonna help me. Like, I love immersion reading. It's just so immersive and just like obviously. It's just so much easier for me to like grasp information and just pull through and read a book. So it definitely works for me. Then I have to read the 15 books on my priority TBR, which is a video that I posted a few videos ago. I'll leave it again in the cards. I want to read all those 15 books. They're priority books for a reason. Gotta do it. And with that, going back to my bingo board from hell, I want to read like the books enough to complete at least 2 bingos on that board. The ideal, hit all the bingos, but the minimum I'm asking of myself is to hit 2 different bingos. And I think there's like 4 prompts on each row. So I hope I get at least 2. And the last is to read Atomic Habits, which is a nonfiction. I don't do a lot of nonfiction. I am not someone who loves memoirs or self-help, but I do think Atomic Habits will help with my word of the year, which is consistency. I had tried reading it early 2024 and then stuff came up, I wasn't consistent, and it kind of dropped off my like immediate TBR, so we're bringing it back. So those are all my reading goals. Moving on to channel goals. So again, there's a few channel goals. The first one obviously is my numeric goal of like subscribers I want to reach, and this is always hard for me because I have never been super duper consistent with YouTube. I usually drop off a few times a year and then pick it back up. This year I did a little bit better, and it was clearly my best year number wise. I think I might do like reacting to my 2024 goals video. Let me know if that is of any interest. But my safe goal would be to get to 2.7k subscribers. That is like 600 subscribers away ish, and I think that is a realistic goal. I'll be really proud of myself if I hit it, but as I say every year, if I don't hit it, I'm not gonna like fall off a cliff. Like, everything is fine. My aim here is always just to build my community, and I definitely think I have hit that goal in 2024 because I have met some wonderful people. I've gotten to know so many of you guys. I know who you are when you comment. Like, I know my people now, and it's really a great time. My stretch goal is 3k. Realistically, do I think I'll hit 3,000? Probably not. It would be my biggest growth year for sure. It's a stretch goal. Then obviously my main priority is to keep growing my community, and specifically continuing to build my middle grade community and continuing to champion the middle grade genre, whether that be in my book reviews with my book club, by supporting these authors, by creating reading challenges for myself. One of my goals for 2025 is to read 30 middle grade books. So that would be like 1/3 of my reading, and that's exactly what I want to focus on and keep working towards. A money goal I have with YouTube, because I am monetized since a few months, another goal I hit is to make $200, 200 Canadian dollars. If I make more than that, fantastic. If I make less, I don't live off my YouTube income, but that would be great. I think that 200 is like 2 payouts with YouTube. Could be realistic, I think. Then we come to my goal for publishing videos. I have been trying to publish 3 videos a week for a really long time. It's been working out good. I have, however, shifted my publishing calendar. So the goal remains to publish 3 videos a week. However, instead of uploading Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, I am now uploading Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. The Wednesday and Friday videos are evening videos that go out at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and the Sunday mornings are 8 a.m. videos at, again, Eastern Time. So that is my calendar for 2025. This is how I structured my content, and that is what I want to stick with. I would be really proud of myself if I could hit at least like 75% of the time I have 3 videos, and then some weeks I might just have 2 depending on what is happening, but the ideal here is 3. EVERBLOOM is obviously coming back in 2025. I will leave all the information for the past read-a-thon, but the new announcement should be coming up, I think it's January 8th. And so this year we are having 4 rounds of EVERBLOOM, 1 in February, 1 in the end of June. We're having a summer camp round, which will last 2 weeks. Then we'll have the regular September month-long read-a-thon, and then in November we'll do the same as last year. So technically I want to host 4 rounds of EVERBLOOM. Then I would like to host a bi-weekly sprints on Thursday evenings because Thursdays just work out best in my household for 2025. So that is a goal I set for myself. I started streaming live back in 2024, absolutely loved it. So I'm trying to bring it in a more consistent manner in 2025 so you guys know when I'm live and it's just easy to kind of come and hang out and know when I'm there. And I have 2 more. There's a lot, but as I said, it kind of all focuses together. I have 2 read-alongs which will be announced shortly after this video, but spoiler, they are for Mistborn and Percy Jackson. Those are the 2 that like won the poll that I posted concerning read-alongs, and so we will be reading Mistborn Era 1 here on my channel in 2025, as well as Percy Jackson books 1 through 5. Then we're going to move to Heroes of Olympus 1 through 5, and then the 2 books of like 6 and 7 in Percy Jackson will be read in the first 2 months of 2026, but that is the books I'm concentrating on hosting read-alongs for in 2025. And the last goal I have is to play Book Hive, my new TBR game, for the entire year. Like every month, show up, play the game, and read some books. Let me know what you guys think about my reading channel goals. I have a lot every year. Some of them are going to be easier than others, but I'm just really hoping to be consistent and reach some of these goals. If you want to hop off here, totally fine, but for those of you who want to stay, the next thing I want to touch on is my book buying consumption for 2025. In 2025, I decided I'm having a low buy year in general. If you're unfamiliar, low buy years are like a less extreme version of a no spend year where you spend an entire year just spending for like necessities, like groceries and stuff like that. A low buy year is where you limit yourself to very specific things and you're not just like buying stuff. There's a lot of videos on that on YouTube if you're interested, but I am having a low buy year, not just for books, but obviously this is a book channel, so what I have decided to do for books, for book buying in 2025 is I have a limit of what I can do and how I can fund my book purchases. So in 2025, the only subscription I have left is Afterlight. It was my first subscription and I have canceled every other subscription I've tried aside from Afterlight. We're going back to basics. So Afterlight is like $63 Canadian a month when you calculate shipping and those things. And so my budget for book buying that comes out of my money that I make from my full-time social work job is $63 a month. So I can either decide to spend it on a Afterlight edition for the month, or if I skip that, I get to buy $63 worth of books for a month. If there are other books I want and I, for example, in January, I'm planning to renew my Afterlight. If I renew my Afterlight but there are books coming out, I have a few ways that I can fund them. One is selling other books on Facebook Marketplace and using that money to bring in new books. I have sold like over half my collection of books, which I know I still have a lot, but I have reduced it significantly using Facebook Marketplace. So that's one way I can like sell to buy more. The other thing I do, which is strange to a lot of people, is I recycle. I bring back my beer bottles, my soda cans, whatever, and I use the 10 cents back per bottle to save money and buy gift cards for books. So that is another way I'm going to fund my book buying, by bringing back those things and using that money for books. The last way I can buy books is using my creator money from BookTube. So the money I make from YouTube, I can decide to spend on books. So for example, I have hit my target and will be receiving money by the end of December, unless there's like something wrong with taxes or paperwork or whatever. I should be getting a amount of money and I can decide to use that money to pay my January releases, which is the plan for now. This is what I'm hoping to fund my January releases with. But if not, I gotta find another way to make it work because, as I said, I am renewing Afterlight. So that is how I'm going to work it. Obviously, I have my Amazon wish list and stuff. If people buy me books as gifts for my birthday, whatever, it doesn't count because I'm not paying for it. But otherwise, that is how I am funding it. Last little caveat, I do have a space on my Book Hive board, which is a like voucher. If I fall on that, I can decide if I want to buy books or not, but that would not count because it's on the game, but like that might happen twice in the entire year. Otherwise, that is how we are doing things around here, because I have been on this journey for like years of trying to declutter what I own. I own too many things, too many books, too many clothes, too many of everything. I want to reduce and have peace of mind in the small amount of things I own. And so this is obviously part of a journey to consume less things. I'm doing this for clothes. I'm doing this for a lot of different things in hopes of, one, saving money, and two, just being more environmentally friendly, more conscious of my space, and respect my mental health. So that is my little TED Talk of book consumption, and I think it's going to be a really fun challenge. Obviously, I'm going to let you guys know in every wrap up, because I'm going to blend my wrap ups and hauls for 2025, what it is I purchased and how I purchased it. I will be holding myself accountable through this platform. The last sections of goals I have are some personal goals, and I'm just going to fly through them. One thing I want to keep doing is do things that spark joy for my inner child. I have learned in 2024 during burnout how important it is to fuel my inner child and do things for the sake of having fun. I have started like coloring without worrying about like, oh, was this the right color? Was this the right shading? Oh my god, my coloring pencil slipped and I'm off the lines. I don't care. I just keep going. I have started writing in notebooks that I've been keeping for years in my drawers. Like, I'd rather just use them, but I've always felt it wasn't the right time. I just give myself permission to do these things now and just have fun with it, and it's really been sparking joy in my life again. Another thing I want to keep doing is keep working with my social worker. We have like an intervention plan. We're meeting like every 2 weeks in order to implement boundaries and help find my core self, like my values, what I want to do, what I like. And obviously it's the like job of a lifetime, but I do want to keep doing it while I have the resources from that social worker. I want to keep doing things that are creative. YouTube has been a really fun outlet for me recently, and I've loved it. So I want to keep doing those things that spark joy. I have started using a dump notebook with me where I write literally everything down, whether that be something for a grocery list, a video idea, something I need to do. I have a notebook, which is literally right here, that I got in an Afterlight box, funnily enough, where I have just been writing like brainstorm ideas, and I have ordered myself a notebook for 2025. It's much shorter, like it's a travel notebook that I'll bring everywhere with me, to work, groceries, like wherever. It's gonna go on a journey in 2025, and this has helped ease my anxiety, my mind, my mental load, because every time I have a thought, I'm like, oh my god, I probably shouldn't forget this. In the notebook it goes. Someone calls me to like schedule an appointment. In the notebook it goes. I tried being a digital girly. I am not a digital girly. I'm a pen and paper. So yeah. I also want to keep habit tracking. I fell off the bandwagon like mid 2024, but I used to daily like track my habits, and I will say something really exciting which will be getting to me in 2025, and one of the only low bar expenses I'm letting myself have is a bullet journal that is customized by Remarkably Rachel, who is Gabby from, what is Gabby's channel? I feel like I just watch her. I believe her like channel here. Her sister does beautiful customized bullet journals, and I am getting mine, like I'm reserving it and paying for it in February, like February 7th. And so once it gets to me, I don't know how long that is, but it will have all my habit trackers in it, everything, like my TBRs, my habits that I track, all of it, because I do track 9 separate habits. That will all be in that bullet journal, and I can't wait. It's like a dream come true to me to have this kind of journal. Then I want to try and be more comfortable filming around my partner. Usually I film when he's not there, or I kick him to the garage where he has like his computer and stuff to film, because I'm too like awkward. But I've been doing YouTube on and off for 8 years, and I've been with my partner for like 7, so it needs to like click. For screen time, I want to reduce my screen time to 3 hours or less per day. That will help my reading goals, that will help my mental health. It just will help a lot of my other goals. I want to keep my 12 no spend days a month, and that will help my low buy year. So this is one of the habits I track. It worked really well for the majority of 2024, and it helps me be more intentional and track my spending, which is what we want. We want to be accountable. And my last goal is to start saving money for a new Mac. I want an iMac because my computer is struggling. Like, I would need to make the battery get a repair. It's very slow. Sometimes it kind of just shuts off. Mind you, it's only 4 years old, but I do a lot on my computer, and I just want to make sure that when the time comes that my computer is like, thank you, I've had enough. I have enough to purchase an iMac. So I would like to do that. Maybe I'll save some YouTube money from it. I don't really know. Like, obviously my budget I'm gonna keep for myself, but there's a way I'm gonna set it up in there to make sure that I have at least some dollars for the day it happens, which, let's pray it doesn't happen early 2025. Like, I would like to have my computer for a while longer. So knock on wood for me. Thank you. So those were all the goals, like all of the goals that I'm sharing with you guys. It was a lot. I'm super excited. I goal set like a maniac. I love keeping track of things. I love statistics. I love spreadsheets, which, speaking of spreadsheets, I have a series tracker now. I have a book tracker for the entirety of 2025. Like, I am prepared. And I hope I wasn't too annoying. Now, if you're interested in knowing about the 2025 series I'm planning on filming on here, this is your time. Otherwise, the goals are done. I got real close and in your face here. So, 2025 series, you guys, I have a content calendar planned until the end of March 2025. So, I am prepared. I just need to film now. Film and read. Reading is always the hardest part of having a YouTube channel. Now, first thing that will be a monthly series on my channel is the self-destruct. If you haven't seen that video, I will leave it up in the cards. I have chosen 12 books for 12 months that will self-destruct if I don't read them. They are all hyped books, and they are all wrapped up. So we're having a self-destruct / wrapped up series where I like unwrap a book in a vlog and read one a month. So that is one thing I think will be really cool. I'm looking at the stack of wrapped books and I'm like, I have the urge, because I already forgot like what is what, and I set them out of order, and I'm like, I want to start this now. Then we will have an episode of Bookshelf Blitz every month, and I know a lot of people are doing like TBR or Toss It. It's the same, like, read it or toss it, shelf it or scrap it from back on the books. I am doing that kind of series, but every month we're going to play a different game. Spoiler alert, the first one is using my new TBR game. Then I have an alphabet dice, I have a Jenga, like a game of Jenga with prompts on it that we're gonna play. I have bingo that I want to play. I have a dice game. Like, every month we're gonna have an episode of reading from my TBR with the extra challenge of a TBR game, which I think is gonna be so fun. I also have for plans to upload a review of every single book I read for my book club in 2025. So if you don't know, I have the Sprinkle of Magic book club, which is a middle grade book club. The announcement for January and March should be up either one video before this or one video after this. I also want to do my Afterlight vlog idea, which is going to be monthly as well, where I read the Afterlight book if I decide to renew it. I unbox it in a video, like show you all the customizations, and read it in that vlog, so that by the end of 2025, all the Afterlight books that have come into my home will have been read. Then I want to each month upload a reset / check-in video for my goals, which includes updating you guys from my bingo board from hell, my series spreadsheets, my book trackers, story graph, my bullet journal when it gets to me cleaning my office. Like, it's gonna be like the ultimate book video every month. And I loved doing resets. I stopped doing them, but we're bringing them back differently, and I think it's going to be even more fun because it will be more book related and goal oriented as well. And my last series that I'm going to mention here is to upload one episode a month of my 40% vlog challenge, which is to well, the 40% challenge comes from my bingo board from hell, where I want to read 40% of the books I buy in 2025. Ultimately, like, can I read all of the books? That would be great. But my challenge is to read at least 40% of them. So that could be easy in a month where I buy one book, because you read the one book, you're done. But for example, my birthday month, if I get books and I get like 10 books, I would need to read at least 40% of them. And so that's where the challenge can get fun. And obviously it's all the books I buy in 2025, not just 2025 releases. This idea comes from Leanne from Literary Diversion, who also created the bingo board from hell. So that is it for the most like chatty video I think I've posted in such a long time. Let me know down below what you guys have for goals in 2025. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments down below. And I have all the videos in the description and some of them up in the cards for you guys to visit if you want more of my goals, my list videos, all of that. I'll see you very soon with another video. Leave this emoji if you made it this far. Bye guys, happy reading!